The strange part wasn't that the clock tower was still ticking. It was that every photograph showed it stopped at a different time. Morning light, evening fog, winter snow, always ticking, never agreeing. No one could remember hearing it strike midnight, not once. Tonight we step quietly into another forgotten mystery, a place where questions linger longer than answers. The air feels older here, as if the past is waiting just beyond the edge of light. Settle in, the mystery is waiting. The town was called Greyhaven. It didn't appear on most maps anymore. Tucked between low hills and silent marshland, it looked preserved, not abandoned, not alive. At its center stood a narrow stone clock tower, visible from almost anywhere in town. Built in 1894, maintained regularly, still operational, and yet no record existed of it ever reaching midnight. But that was only the first thing that didn't make sense. Locals never gathered beneath the tower after sunset. Visitors reported an odd sensation, like time slowing without stopping. Watches ran late, phones lost signal. And every attempt to film the clock overnight resulted in corrupted footage. Always at the same moment, just before 12. Greyhaven was once a railway town. Trains passed through until the early 1930s. Then, abruptly, they stopped. Not rerouted, not delayed, just never arrived again. The final conductor's log ends mid-sentence, dated October 17, 1931. The same night the clock tower was repaired after a lightning strike. No deaths were recorded, no disaster reported, only silence. Old newspapers describe a celebration planned that evening, a centennial marking the town's founding. Midnight was meant to be ceremonial, the clock striking 12 as lanterns were released into the sky. Photographs from earlier that day show preparations, streamers, food stalls, children watching the tower. But no photographs exist from after dusk, as if the night never finished developing. Years later, maintenance workers documented something unusual. The clock mechanism showed no signs of damage. No missing gears, no faults. Yet the minute hand resisted manual movement past 11:59. Not jammed, not broken, simply unyielding. Town records list residents who claim to remember the celebration ending normally. Others insist the night felt unfinished. One journal describes hearing the crowd grow quiet, not suddenly, but gently. Another claims people began leaving before midnight without knowing why. No two accounts align. Even the memories refuse to agree. Birds avoid the tower at night. Fog gathers only around its base. Shadows stretch longer near it than elsewhere in town. A surveyor once noted that distances near the tower measured inconsistently. 10 steps one night, 14 the next. Same path, same ground. But the next discovery would change everything they thought they understood. Hidden beneath the tower, behind a sealed maintenance panel, investigators found a ledger that wasn't listed in any archive. Its pages were dated, carefully, methodically. Every entry ended at 11:59 p.m., every single one. But none of it prepared them for what they found next. The final page was blank, except for a faint indentation, pressed deep into the paper, as if written by someone holding their pen too tightly. Under angled light, the words appeared. Not ink. Pressure. Midnight arrived. We just didn't. The tower continued ticking above them. Patient. Unbothered. Waiting. No alarms sounded. No wind moved. Only the soft rhythm of seconds passing, never becoming the next day. Some believe the town experienced a psychological event, a shared expectation collapsing into shared memory distortion. But that was a psychological event, a shared expectation collapsing into shared memory distortion. But that doesn't explain the clock. Others suggest a geological anomaly, subtle magnetic interference affecting perception and machinery alike. Yet nearby towns report nothing unusual. A third theory points to the lightning strike, a surge freezing the mechanism at a critical moment. But repairs should have corrected it. They never did. And a quieter theory exists, that Greyhaven didn't lose time. It lost transition. A moment stretched too thin to complete itself. Perhaps the most unsettling part isn't the clock. It's the feeling the town leaves behind. A sense of something unfinished. A night that never fully exhaled. Because humans fear darkness. But we fear unfinished moments even more. The tower still stands, still ticks, still waits for a midnight that may have already passed somewhere else. Maybe the truth was never lost, just waiting. Which explanation feels closest to the truth for you? And what do you think happens when time decides not to move on?